Well, good morning, or actually, it's just afternoon, Monarchs fans. Let me turn the volume down here just a little bit. There we go. Sorry about that. Not sure why I'm getting an echo, but actually, I can stop that right now. I think. No. Boy, that's weird. How about that? No. Hmm. Well, I got plenty to talk about here. Let me go ahead and do this for you first. And this is the first thing. Yep. Rain. Gosh, why is it doing that? There we go. Stop. But that was the rain. I was trying to show the rain there. I'm not sure why it was doing that, but uh, hello, everybody. Welcome to Monarchs Live. We got plenty to talk about here. It's first off raining in King County. We will not start on time, but that's just part of the day. It's been a busy week, hasn't it? I mean, crazy busy week. Breaking news sounder coming to you in 3, 2, 1. Here we go. Promise. Press play. There we go. All right, breaking news from here in King County. Again, granted, we're not going to start on time, so that's the first piece of news. All right. Second piece of news is that the Monarchs have completed a trade today, and let me bring this up for you too to give you a little information here. But this all happening in the last literally since we checked out the hotel at 11. This all came down this morning, mid-morning. I got the news right around 11, and we got here just about an hour ago. But the Monarchs have acquired Gia Brusa, all-star from Lake Country. And this is his headshot from Lake Country right here. He will be in uniform. I do believe he's en route. He'll wear number 13, which ironically is the person he was traded for. He was traded for Carlos Diaz. Diaz was on the Monarchs inactive list, inactive roster, but Diaz was traded to Lake Country today, a even exchange. I guess 13 for 13. Gia Brusa, all-star. You may recall the game on June 4th there in Lake Country where Bruce hit 2 home runs against Kansas City. It was a losing effort for them, but he had the 2 runs. 2 home runs. He also had the 2 home runs in back-to-back games on the 16th and 17th of July there at Legends Field in Kansas City. Again, all-star slugger, first baseman, DH, left fielder, right fielder, corner outfielder will be joining the ball club, and we expect him to be here today. Now, again, when we play, that's the question, because again, as I will show you in a moment, for some reason my camera was not cooperating, but I'll bring that down for you right here. But I'll take questions and comments on this as well. But this one, if you've been watching things the last couple of days, it shouldn't come as a huge surprise. Let me bring the camera over here. Sorry about that. Just because of what's been going on injury-wise. I mean, this club has been banged up injury-wise. We talked about at length. No one's gonna cry for a team that's 20 games over 500. But this is what Joe Capietra and his staff do. They constantly try to turn things over, and they're not going to sit around. I mean, when things aren't going to plan, they don't panic necessarily. But when there's always that move ahead, right? There's always that possibility of the move ahead, and I'm just actually making sure we're getting no comments over here because we are. Make sure that there we go. Yeah, but you don't panic. You don't go nuts. But you don't knee jerk is what I'm trying to tell you. But I don't like my angle here. I look very, very large today. I swear, it's driving me nuts. This is driving me nuts. You may see me next year like wearing a collar. But again, the injury bug, and just to recap what's going on injury-wise, Pete Cosmo on the disabled list, injured list. John Hernandez, of course, we knew that. Those two pieces of the puzzle. Ryan Grotjohn is day to day. You've had to release Chad De La Guerra because of the concussion issue yesterday. That's four pieces. John Harris is going to miss his next start. We did have to move yesterday. Matt Hall was moved to his start on Tuesday. So there's a bit of a banged up ball club, and already it's a long season. So it should come as no surprise that Kansas City making this move. So welcome Gio Brusa to the Monarchs family. He'll be here today wearing number 13, as I mentioned, which again, as I find ironic, that's the number of the player he was traded for, Carlos Diaz. Now, Diaz was not on the active roster, but he was definitely in the wings. I mean, I know there had been conversations between him and the field staff. I know that there had been conversations about him perhaps returning at some point. I mean, he was ready to go, and he'll be in Lake Country with Jim Bennett and that club over there. And, of course, he was, tied all time for saves in the organization. But Bruce, you're getting a guy that's an all-star, 15 home runs. He's going to, drive in some runs. He's going to provide depth. And what I think is going to happen, you're going to see this lineup card again do this, expand. It's going to expand. And you're going to see a lot of depth. You're going to see guys, you're going to see guys from top to bottom deliver, and all you're doing is adding one more good piece. And I think the fun thing about it is you think about how this club will look, say 2 weeks from now, 3 weeks from now, which is that real push, that final week into the season, final positioning of the season. And it's got to be exciting. From an offensive standpoint, very exciting. Now, I know that Joe continues to work the phones, and he's working hard right now to continue to bolster the lineup. But again, it's like I told you guys over the day. I mean, pretty simple. When the Monarchs lost, bodies last week, there was some knee-jerk panic on the fandom, and I said these moves are not just made for the Abreu trade, for example, is not just made just for a trade, and that was it. There is a method to the process. And I've been around this business long enough to tell you I knew that, but I didn't know what those pieces were, but they were Malik Smith, Jacob Robson, who both have been joined the ball club. And then, you're seeing that whole, okay, we got some situations injury-wise. We want to get ahead of it. And that's what this club does, this franchise does, gets ahead of it. And that's what this team will do. Good news, too, yesterday, despite the loss, you don't lose any ground. You're only a game back. Fargo got swept yesterday at home in a doubleheader to Lincoln. Now, that's who you'll see this next weekend. But, again, Winnipeg does stay on your bumper, but at the same time, they just draw closer to Fargo, too. And don't forget, they got to play each other, too. So there's a lot of fun baseball ahead here in August. So, yes, been a rough series here. The Monarchs have dropped the first two. I don't know what to tell you about today. We're not going to start on time. We will be going on in about 9 minutes. That's not going to happen. But stay tuned to our social media channels. I'll give you an update if I can. If I had to pop in and give you an update, plus or minus, I can do that. The team is here. We're all prepared to do what we got to do. But, we're not going to start, again, game was supposed to start about 39 minutes. Ain't going to happen. The field's still covered. And I'll give you a shot of that. I know the camera was kind of wonky a moment ago. I'll give you a shot of that there. And that's what you're looking at right there. It began raining here overnight in the Chicagoland. I can tell you this, too. Sorry about that, folks. My mom was driving back to Northwest Indiana from here. I talked to her about an hour ago, and again, a few minutes ago. She was on, if you know the Chicagoland area, she was on 294 going eastbound around to 94 towards South Bend in that direction to the toll road. And I could hear her on the phone. It sounded like she was in a car wash. And then she told me that the cars are pulled over the side of the road. Heavy rains that way. We got steady showers really all morning. And I woke up this morning early. I looked out the window and went, again, it's not a downpour, but it's steady. And there's been pretty good water, here and there. Now, some of the players for King County, a couple of them are out throwing. I see Malik Smith is going to come out and get loose. Some of the guys are starting to stretch a little. But, again, we are definitely not an hour from starting. We're probably more like an hour and a half from even having a remote chance to get going. My guess is we'll wait around till 3 o'clock. And 3 o'clock. No, Jim, the news is now, John is your question about John, his situation. we can start watching him on Wednesday because we're going to be at the 2-week mark. We're going to be at the 3-week mark, really, on Wednesday. So we'll start to look. Now, John has swung the bat. He has been running. He did swing the bat over at home in the cage. I don't know what he's done here. I'll catch up with him, but we'll start kind of having a better idea. 4 to 6 weeks was the window. We're going to get the 3-week mark coming up on Wednesday, and I think we'll have a pretty good idea. Will he be will be a weekly countdown? We'll be looking at 5 weeks, 6 weeks, but that will be updated. We'll get an update from John and from Joe as well this week. But we're starting to that. We're past that early part now. Jim, we're to the point now where we're starting to count down there as far as that's concerned. So that is the news. The news here, in case you missed it, you just joined us. We're going to be in a rain delay to start this thing. But Gia Brusa, all-star outfielder for Lake Country, has been acquired by the Monarchs. He will be hopefully in uniform today. He was en route. He'll be wearing number 13. And if you just refresh your memory, the game in Lake Country, it was an 11-4 Monarch win. He hit 2 home runs, though. He had 2 home runs there in Legends Field as well in the 16th and 17th of July in the return series. He was really their big piece. And Lake Country kind of reshuffling the deck, getting pieces for next year, perhaps getting Carlos Diaz. I don't know Diaz's status as far as we know report there, but Diaz, who was on the Monarchs roster, remember, the inactive list still is on your roster despite being on your active roster. You can still trade and acquire, and you see teams all the time acquire guys put on the inactive list. Kansas City has traded off the inactive list Carlos Diaz to Lake Country for Gia Brusa. That is coming down the last hour or so. So that is the news from here in King County. Rain coming down, field is covered, and we'll update you on social media. I expect to have an update probably at the top of the hour, but we will keep you posted. Follow us on monarchsbaseball.com for the final update, but Facebook, Twitter, all those updates. And I'm more going to be standing by. If you follow me on my channels, I'll be standing by as well. And I'll try to give you guys an update when I know something more on Facebook Live, just to kind of give you an update on what's going on. Just give you an idea. If this thing gets banged, I'll let you know there. If it's not, and we will give you a countdown and say, hey, we're going to play ball. So either way, but this is Monarchs Live. I'm Dan Vaughn, voice of the Kansas City Monarchs. Again, the breaking news here, Gia Brusa has joined the ball club. We're in a rain delay in King County. Nothing else going on today. Pretty slow day for the Monarchs family, right? Nothing to see here, folks. Kansas City hoping to wrap this series up with King County here at Geneva. All right, we got to do 1, 2, 3, go Monarchs. No matter what the story is, right? Play or no play. We're going to do 1, 2, 3, go Monarchs, right? Let's do it. 1, 2, 3, go Monarchs. I'll see you in the broadcast today or sometime, everybody.